Hi and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the delightful Creatures Oracle that Sarah Kathleen very kindly sent to me. So following the review of the Creatures Tarot, which you can watch on my YouTube channel, Sarah then sent me the Creatures Oracle. Now this, she explained, is one of the versions of the decks that some of the edging on the side didn't turn out quite how she wanted, so it was in her spares pile, if you will. So I presume that the other copies that get sent out to her customers are perhaps definitely higher quality than these, but I was very pleased to receive one of these copies because it's one of the last ones she had, so I can now work with these two decks together. So I wanted to show you the Creatures Oracle, which you can get from Sarah Kathleen's website. You can see here that it is very similar in style to the Creatures Tarot, so we'll have a look. On the back it says a simple nature-based human free, which, can I just point out that I mentioned on the last review, this tarot deck is also human free. So a human free oracle deck designed to encourage and support your own intuition by sarahkathleen.co.uk. So I love the imagery. This comes in a paper tuck box. So we'll have a look now through the cards. Now the card stock feels completely different, may I add, to that of the tarot deck. I will pull out the tarot deck so you can see the difference. There is a difference in size and card stock. So the tarot, I also got a little thank you card as well. So the tarot deck is a standard tarot deck size with this backing here, whereas the oracle deck is much bigger. And it does have a similar card backs, but obviously in a different colour. So there's still like a nebula here, but without all the points on there. So both the tarot and oracle decks have plain wood edging. Now this deck here is actually, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like almost plasticky, but matte plastic. So it feels, oh, I'm knocking things over. So it feels almost waterproof. I really like it. Whereas the tarot deck is matte. Similar actually when I think about it, but it's more papery in feel. So there's a bit of a textural difference there. And you'll be able to see that these cards are literally slipping out my hands. They're so slippy, but they're great to shuffle. So I'll take you through the cards now. You can see the artwork is these lovely creatures in black, with like a collage style backing for some of the cards. And the titles are written differently on every card. So this one here is Commitment. I think the imagery is just beautiful. And some of the imagery, I was actually wondering, is it the same as the tarot cards? I must try and compare at some point. So this one's Commitment. And then we have Pause. I just think it's such a lovely image because you've got this little creature here with little horns, if you will. That's just sat under a tree, watching the sunset, just pausing, taking a moment. And then we've got Love. Well, we've got two little creatures and it looks like they're bathing in a river or a lake. So it's that joining together. It's beautiful. And then we have Growth. I love this card with the daisies. I just think it's so lovely. But it does remind me of one of the images in the tarot deck, so it goes perfectly. And then we have Alone, and it's so beautifully depicted with those bubbles, but obviously the one creature being alone in a bubble. And then we have Fear, which looks like the Loch Ness Monster, if you will, and the lightning with that red backing. It's really effective. And then we have Magic, and I think it's just lovely with that cosmos background. I didn't realise, but this is actually Sarah's own handwriting. I wish I had handwriting as beautiful and as neat as this. So this is Magic. Then we have Balance, which is really cute because obviously we've got Balance, which is the writing all joined up going along like, you know, a tightrope. And then we have this pile of rocks that this lovely creature is balancing on. So sweet. And then Resilience, which is all very dark with the moon, but being resilient and keeping going forward. And we have Confidence with this fiery sort of backing. I think that's a really sort of strong, confident look to the card. It's beautiful. And then we have Adventure, which looks to me like the Grand Canyon, if you will, with this creature walking along the top, taking in the views, having an adventure. And then we have Endings, which is really stormy. We have this whirlwind, this tornado, and obviously a tornado takes everything away, so there are endings there. Oh, see, the cards are slipping again. So we have acceptance here. They're floating on a leaf in a pond and just accepting things for what they are. Really beautiful. And then we have peace. And I love the starry background, the forest, the little creature looking up into the sky. Just peace, quiet. Another one with a tree here. We have compassion with two creatures. One obviously having compassion for the other. Really lovely. And then look at the handwriting again. Wonder with that shooting star. It's just so sweet with a little creature to the side. And then patience. I love the plainness of this card, how it's just purple, the Saturn and Moon, just being patient and waiting. Vulnerability, and the little creature is actually really vulnerable because they're very tiny and they're hanging on the very edge of a branch. So very vulnerable. Innocence with the clouds, and this is the one that reminded me of the tarot deck because there's a card and I pulled it the other day and it was clouds along it. I think it was the Three of Pentacles. Then we have gratitude in all the plants and the holding a plant up, the grateful, and ancestors with this sort of Stonehenge and the creature there. And then we have a journey again, another tree. Now the creature has wings and a child, and there's like a castle sort of fort here, so they're on a journey together. And then this impermanence, nothing ever stays the same, and you can see this corn growing through the field and this creature. Now this I totally and utterly relate to in every single way with this card, because it reminds me of like a recurring dream I had years ago about wheat fields, but this is just, yeah, the imagery is so significant. And then independence, creatures just in the water on their own, being independent, doing their thing. Then we have change, and we have the different phases of the moon, as obviously the moon changes, or it doesn't change, but what we see of it changes. And we have this creature riding through the clouds. Really interesting. Then we have more trees. I think Sarah really likes her trees because we've got listening to one another under the tree. And then recovery, and in the water, recovering. And then snow, and good fun in the snow with play. And escape with that tropical palm tree there on a beach, just escaping. Again, another tree. Boundaries. And that tree is almost setting the boundary, if you will, but the creature is at the top of the tree, saying, look, I'm sky high, I'm miles away from you. Then we have learning, this sun background, and almost like a light bulb moment. Then we have overthinking, with the weeds literally growing around them as they're just spending too much time thinking. Dreaming, this dark card in the clouds. Strength, climbing a mountain there, really lovely. Communication, this is very similar to the listening card earlier on, with that pink background. And then we have belief, that looking up to the moon, having your beliefs, looking to the stars. It's so beautiful. Imagination, and all the ideas are literally growing from this creature's mind. Then we have trust, which reminds me very much of a Fool card, because this being close to the edge of a cliff, if you will. It's just really nicely done. And forgiveness, with one creature looking to the other, and they're under the night sky, under a cloud, just forgiving one another. Then we have mystery. It's a rather lovely card. And then loss, again, with a tree. It's very Five of Cups. And then we have lost, which is literally just a creature in the dark. Freedom. And we see the creature right up here, looking down, being free. And then help, but offering help, look, because he's providing support for these birds. Curiosity. And then we have connection. There's quite a few of these cards of like communication, connection, listening, that are all very similar, with the two of them under the tree. It's really nicely done. Then we have searching, looking through the forests there. And truth, again, with that shooting star, that truth, and looking out to the night sky. This is such a beautiful card with the optimism and the dandelion clocks. It's just so lovely, very springtime. Speaking of spring, we've got beginnings here, and again, that sunset. And then we've got spirit. Now, the actual creature is up here, and it's like this path through the tower on which the creature's like residing. So the path to his own spirit. Then we have quiet. The creature's far in the distance, gaining some quiet. And then guilt, and this vortex, this black sort of hole of, obviously it's sucking his emotions in, or her emotions, because of the guilt. And then we've got hope in the clouds. And then we finally have this card here, which is anger. And I like that the anger, actually, the font is minimised. It's quite a small size, but the creature's quite large. And it's like you can't even see the writing for the fire because he's so angry. So that is the Creatures Oracle deck. It is available from Sarah Kathleen. I think she'll probably be doing another print run of it at some point. It's just beautiful, and it goes so well with the tarot deck that I uploaded a guide video of the other day, so you can have a look through that guide on this site here, on this page. But some of the imagery is very, very similar. There's lots of trees in the tarot deck as well, and all the creatures, lots of water as well. It's just a really beautiful set of cards, and I can't wait now to combine the oracle with the tarot and to make paired readings. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative. Take care.